I have this model, this ADDIE model. In the ADDIE model, I'm not evaluating to know if it was any good until the end. I'm doing, right, this is designed in a world in which I'm doing all of my thinking up front in that analysis and design phase, the thinking being that if I've thought everything through, I mitigate the risk of change. Except we all know that change happens all the time, even midway through development or even midway through the implementation. What's more, I'm often in a model shape like this, I am implementing something I have not yet tested to see if it will work. That is a little bit scary. So you can't ever think everything through. There's always something. And yet we tend to go about the world, or people, humans tend to go out the world thinking that we can think of everything. And here's the thing, right? The first day of your project is the worst day to plan what it's going to look like, right? And that's very difficult. And yet we kind of need to, and planning is important. Planning is more important than the plan itself, right? And yet we know change is going to happen. And yet we want to make sure that we are not simply accepting every single squirrel that runs across our path into our project, right? Because that's highly disruptive. Oh, by the way, what we didn't mention when we were talking about what makes delivering our projects on time, in budget, and meet the needs so difficult, sometimes it's us. Sometimes we're coming up with brilliant ideas that might risk taking us way off track, but they're brilliant ideas. And we need ways in which we can evaluate as a team with our business sponsors whether a particular change is in alignment with our goals and our learners and what we're trying to accomplish, or just really cool, or additional, or excessive. Here's how I draw the ADDIE model. Okay. I believe in a little bit of analysis, design, and development, but I'm very quickly going to get out an implementation and an evaluation very early in my timeline. We rarely have enough time to analyze, but guess what? It's implementation and evaluation. It's at the same position as the analysis. It's another opportunity for analysis. Right? But when we put out our early iterations of a project, who do you get to review your early iterations of a project? Your subject matter experts are excellent for telling you, are you accurate? Have you included it all? Your sponsors and stakeholders are going to make sure that it's directionally sound, right? Your fellow instructional designers and the randos are going to help you catch what you missed and make sure it's like that you're like, you've got it right, except not a single one of those people actually is on the hook for using what you just created to do their jobs better. That's why I'm a huge proponent of having those actual learners part of your early iteration review. If absolutely the ADDIE process did happen multiple times along the way, it might look something like this, where I continue iterating until I run out of time or budget or things worth fixing.